purposely saved the best for last. Three questions that we were asked to address this evening. One having to do with leadership, and I'm going to be very brief on that. I think in my short tenure in the House, voters have had an opportunity to see what kind of metal I'm made of, and so I'll let them be the judge of that. With regard to vision, I'll just share some basic things that are important to me. I think government needs to protect the traditions of personal rights and responsibilities, and I think one of the main concerns that I have in going to peer is to ensure that government stays out of the way so that we can do what we do best in a free and competitive society. I'd like to spend the rest of my short time on why I believe you should elect me. And I want to tell you that I think the choice is very clear. I am a conservative Republican, and I do not hide from that fact. I'm proud to stand on the Republican Party platform of this state. I support it. And my opponent claims to be a moderate. At first, I thought perhaps he was just a nice guy with whom I had some disagreement. Last night I stumbled onto a website that he has, and I'm going to encourage you all to go there and be the judge of whether he's a nice guy or not. But I would say he is definitely not a moderate. Lest you think I'm being a little mean-spirited, I want to encourage you to look at the website, because it will make you realize that the choice is very clear. One of the things that's on there is a slanderous attack against me, and I'm still steamed just a little bit by that, because there's a guy I thought was just a nice guy, and I would encourage you to go read that. Along with that, you'll see some other thoughts that he might propose would be moderate and objective. But let me quote him and say, let's not be fooled by slick presentations. It's time to focus on substance. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's some substance on which we can focus. He supports an increase in vehicle taxes. I do not. He supports hate crime legislation. I do not. I support increased production of our own oil, natural gas, and coal resources. He's declined to take a position. He supports taxpayer funding for more open space. I do not. He supports universal, publicly funded pre-care or pre-kindergarten care. I do not. I support the rights of law-abiding citizens to obtain a permit to carry a concealed weapon. In fact, I have such a permit. My opponent does not support that right. He would require a license to even possess a firearm. I would not. I oppose marriage between same-sex couples. He has declined to take a public position on that. Perhaps he will tonight. He would deny pharmacists their right of conscience in dispensing morning after pill. I support their right. I support parental notification prior to performing an abortion on a minor child. Again, he's declined to take a public position on that. I would just suggest, once again, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm proud to say so. And my opponent is, in fact, a flaming liberal masquerading as a moderate.
I am standing up, by the way. And I am the flaming liberal that he claims I am. But the reason I am that is he's so far to the right. If I'm moderate and he moves just a little bit to the left, I become in that extreme left-wing area. I didn't intend for anybody to attack anybody tonight, and I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you who I am. You've heard my position, so I don't have to repeat it for you. I was born and raised in South Dakota, and I'm going to talk about business because that's why we're here. I grew up in a family that were business people. The only thing I knew was my father worked day and night, 7 days a week in a gas station. He sold cars, he repaired cars, and I spent so much time under the hood of a car removing the heads of engines that I have still grease under my fingernails. When he moved from that business to another, he opened from a gas station to a Dairy Queen. He expanded that Dairy Queen after 25 years, and it became one of the hot spots of southeastern South Dakota. At the same time, I was going to the University of South Dakota getting a degree. I was not business inclined. However, what happened to me was, by accident, I ended up in business. I ended up being in broadcasting. I ended up as a part owner of a radio station in Yankton, South Dakota. We opened it up. We sold it. I moved to Rapid City. I was on radio at Kim Radio for a number of years, and then my father passed away. But while I was in Rapid City, I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce of Rapid, Chamber of Commerce of Deadwood, Chamber of Commerce of Custer, and the Chamber of Commerce of Hot Springs. I did all of this. I went back to take the business after my father passed away. And then I realized that's not what I want to do. And my leadership qualities are this. When I sold that business after being the president of the chamber in that town, I went to Sioux City, Iowa. I managed a community theater, a large operation. I moved from there to White Bear Lake, Minnesota, much larger operation managing there. So that's some of my leadership qualities, other than the fact that when I was in Yankton, which I forgot to mention earlier, we had a centennial for the bridge. Has anybody ever been across that old bridge at Yankton? Well, the centennial was there, and we rededicated that bridge. I was in charge of organizing that celebration, which drew 25,000 people, more people than ever collected in one place in Yankton before for a celebration. So it was quite exciting. But those are some of the qualities that I bring. Another quality is, yes, I am moderate, and the moderate means that I am open-minded enough to listen to everybody's story. I do not walk into any situation unless I leave my baggage at the door. I do not bring ideological agendas with me. I do not. But I will, if I have an idea that I'm going to do something, it may not be the right idea. You might have a better idea. So I want to sit down, talk, listen. I have been wrong so many times in my life because I've sat down and said, this is what I'm going to do, and then somebody's proven me wrong. And that's what I want to do. I want to go into that legislature, leave my baggage outside, and work for the people. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here. Many of you probably don't know me. I am the Chamber of Economic Development Director up at Hill City. Yes, there are people that live outside of Rapid City that have great influence on Rapid City also, and we appreciate everything you do for us here too. I am an Iowa farm boy. I was born and raised on a farm, so I know a little bit about agriculture, mostly about soybeans, pigs, and corn. No, I'm learning about cow, calf, hares, and wheat. I've been a lifelong business person. I've earned a paycheck for a major national corporation for 25 years. I provided a paycheck in my own businesses for the last 20 years. So I know how both sides of that equation work. I know how it is to receive the benefits, and I know how hard it is to provide the benefits. The other thing that I would like to tell you about me as far as leadership is that I am involved with almost virtually every business and economic development group in the Hills, and I am a big advocate of regional cooperative work in the entire Black Hills to bring our economy up. One of the things I'm really interested in is expanding our tourism economy. And I think we have to look at the baby boomers, the old folks like us, who not only have the will but the expendable income to travel during the off-season and even during the winter. We need to go after that market. We virtually own, we do a fantastic job in that summer market, but that's only for about 90 days. That's not enough to sustain an economy. The other thing I'd like to say as far as vision is that I don't believe we can tax our way into prosperity, folks. I think we have to earn our way into prosperity, and it's hard work, and it takes a long, long time. Economic development is not easy. People who work at it work extremely hard, and they stay at it. It took us probably, if you talk to all the people in the room involved in tourism and economic development, at least 10 years to break down the barriers between the towns of the Black Hills to say, hey, yes, let's work together. So I'll stick with it. I'll be like a bulldog. I'll hang on. We will work together and save these problems. I want you to vote for me because I want to be an advocate for small business and tourism and agriculture. It's 90% of District 30's economy and probably 90% of the state's economy. And that's what I want to do for District 30 and the state of South Dakota. Thank you.